It's the final day of September, and tomorrow I start using the journaling section for October. And I have embellished many of these pages, but not all of them. And what I've realized is that, you know, it still takes a lot of time, even though I'm using my page embellishment templates. And much of the trouble comes from my stash not being fully organized yet. So I've made another video about my flowchart where I go through how I organize paper and fabric depending on what I want to use it for. But since that work is not done yet, my craft room is like a bomb went off. I often stumble on, when I'm looking for stuff for my October book, I stumble on things that would fit April or Christmas or July. So I came up with another solution, and this is not available to everyone. I realize that. I really, on a whim, I bought 5 Leuchtturms, 1 per 2 months for the coming year. So, as I said, tomorrow I start my October book, and I already have a November book at the bottom here somewhere. It's the same, it's an artist's sketchbook, so I'm going to use that for November because I quite like the paper, and like I'll just continue the aesthetic from October. But the rest of the year, so this is the October-November box where I gather all the stuff I want to put in. Yes, the rest of the year. Now this won't be, I can't fit all this. On the same screen, or the camera can't pick it all up. But I have a box for each of 2 paired months. I'll explain. Okay, I have to stand up. So let's see, this is for August and September of 2022. So I thought this would be a good color for it, and I've started gathering bookmarks to use in that book. So when I feel like, for example, painting a background that is slightly late summer, early autumn, I can take out this book and do it. And I can glue stuff in that fits the theme. So my next step will be, well, my first step will be to cut this off because I don't like them. But what I've realized during the past 2 or 3 months is that, I think I've sort of landed, that's a Swedish expression, not an English one, but I've landed in some sort of acceptance or contentment. It's a setup. Okay. Like this October book, I have my monthly booklet, and then I have around 120 pages of journaling. And the rest of the things that I write, I have in the back book, and that covers 6 months. So this book is only 120 pages, but a normal Leuchtturm is double that. So it's 250 pages, which means that if I divide it into, if I divide it in the middle and use half this book for August and half for September, that should be about right. So what I was thinking is that I'll count out the pages I need for my booklet at the beginning here and in the middle, you know, August, and then a lot of journaling pages until we come to page 121, and there we have a new booklet for September, and then the journaling pages for that. So I won't paint the pages that will form the booklet, but the rest of it I will. So yes, as I said, August and September in this box. Let's see, here we have February and March. So this is really a February color, and I have most of these pictures pertain to March because it's pink for me, and well, there are a few Easter images and stuff. So same goes for this book. I will divide it in the middle, count out the pages for the February booklet and the March booklet, and the rest of the pages I will paint with colors that fit those months, which means I will paint February in blues and turquoise and that kind of thing, and March in pink and, well, something along those lines. And this is June and July of next year. Look at this. I've never seen this color and I love it. I love it so much. So again, I will have my June booklet followed by journaling pages until I come to the middle. Then I'll have my July booklet and then the journaling pages for that. And I've started gathering images that will fit. And here we have April and May. So I've chosen the same color as last spring. I used this for April and I really loved it. I don't usually go for this kind of color, but it really fit that month. So this will be April and May, half and half, and images for that. So yeah, this should fit March, I think. And this, perhaps a bit unexpectedly, is for December and January. Which, you know, why don't you have the cutoff date at New Year's? Well, because, well, for one, my work doesn't really fit that kind of division. There's a cutoff date in January instead. So I think it's better to continue using the same book until that time. And around Christmas, I know I'll be tired, you know, I need my little holiday, and I don't want to have to set up a new book around that time because I will, you know, no, thank you. Plus, we tend to keep our Christmas decorations out until the final days of January or even later. So, you know, it doesn't bother me to have a Christmassy book in January. And of course here I'm gathering stuff that I feel are, you know, kind of Christmassy, and I will also gather January stuff, of course. And that brings us to November and October, which it will be two different books this year since I'm using these with fewer pages. But next year I will have one book for October and November. And now I have to mention Ghost because, oh my god, a new single dropped this morning and it's called Hunter's Moon, and look at this. I had no idea because I haven't been on forums, so I haven't heard the rumors, but it's just perfect. And I have covered most of these pages with embellishments, but the rest of them will be Ghost. It's just, and this autumn, I'm telling you, there's a new ABBA album. There will be a Ghost album at some point, perhaps not until, you know, the winter next year. But it's just an amazing time to be alive. So I dug out my old ghost interviews and articles. This is something else. It's from a fashion book, but I will just have to fussy cut these and put them in my October book to hype myself up, and I will listen to the single another 100 times because okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about. You can, the point of this video, if there was one, is that you can, if you don't want to only work on your current or next planner, if you want to prepare beforehand and have less work to do once, for example, April rolls around, you want half of it to be done, you can do that. You can just take out that book and slap in some pictures of, I don't know, birds and apple blossoms, depending on where you live, of course, but those are the things that are sort of relevant here. Not really, though. But the apple blossoms don't come until May, but I like to start thinking about them in April. So yeah, that's just because when you organize your stuff, sometimes it inspires you. You come across pictures and colors that you'd like to work with, but it's not April yet, or February, or May. But you can still prepare. And of course, you don't have to buy these ridiculous books that are expensive. You can buy stuff at secondhand shops. Half of my books, like this one, the one I have in the back here, is a secondhand book. So the only reason I bought these Leuchtturms now, even though they're expensive, is that I wanted more pages. Because I could have continued buying these because I like them, but for the same amount of pages, they actually become more expensive than the Leuchtturms. So it was a calculated, well, a compromise, I guess. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to pop in and talk about.